Hi, Paul from Power Wash Store here, 855-351-9274. I'll tell you a little bit about Kyle from Allbright's water dragon skid we got here. We start out, we got a 100-gallon water tank with a Hudson float valve. We bypass our pressure washer into the tank here to allow it to run in bypass for a longer period of time without overheating the water. We have two 55-gallon upright tanks on here. One is set up for either storing chemical or drawing out a degreaser or something if he wants to downstream. The other tank here is set up for bleach. Coming around to the side, we have a 5 gallon a minute water Hydrotech cold water CPS unit with the AR pump. We have our Vanguard engine on here. On top of it, we have our aluminum diamond plate supports that give you a 12-inch full frame Titan reel with stainless steel plumbing. We have 100 feet of high pressure hose on here. He's going to be adding his own garden hose on the top here, and you can see that this is plumbed back to the water tank so he can pull off of that. We have a Generation 3 twin pump system with the VersaJet pumps on it. These are the new pumps that contain the polypropylene head that is specially designed for us to allow us to use with bleach and other aggressive materials so that the pumps heads will last longer and the pumps last longer. Coming around to the side here, we have our proportioner, which we'll go through the operation in a minute. First thing I'm going to show you here is how you would set up the change from one pump to the other. So if at any time one of the pumps were to come down, what you can do is take one of these additional hoses that come with it as a transfer hose, connect it on the outlet here so you don't spray yourself because it will be under pressure when you switch the valve. We'll take the valve on the top here and turn it away from the hose reel and point it out to relieve the pressure off the system. Once the pressure's off the system, we can disconnect our outlet, switch it to the other pump. You can see there's still a little water in there from when we tested it. Take our proportioner inlet and switch it over to the other pump, and now we would be ready to go. So that's all you have to do to switch it. And then we would come over here, we turn the pump on, we can actually go ahead and reprime the system if we need to. We would leave this open like this with the hose connected on here while we're priming it because it allows it to push the air out really fast and really easy. Then when we're all done and we're all primed, all we have to do is turn the valve back to point towards the hose reel and we'll be able to spray. Priming the proportioner here's the handle for the hose reel. Priming the proportioner is a very simple process. What we're going to do is whatever pump we're using, we're going to turn the pump on. I'm going to take this valve here, I'm going to turn this valve out. Again, I don't want to prime through all the hose when I'm doing the priming process. Once it's primed, it's very easy to push the liquid out, but it's difficult to push the air out. So we connect our outlet hose on here just so we're not spraying it in our faces. We can drop it down on the ground into a bucket. Turn the pump on. We're going to leave the pump running. We're going to be dumping out of the line here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my water valve up all the way, turning it out all the way counterclockwise. It's going to suck the water in. You'll actually see it coming through the line up on the top here. It'll come right through the line, coming right out of the tank, right into the proportioner. After we see that that's primed, we're going to shut that off, go right to the next one, go to the detergent, do the same thing. You can look down, the line runs down into your 7-gallon detergent tank here. You'll see it coming right up. Once we see that's primed, we can shut that off. Then we're going to do our SH line, same thing, open it up all the way. We're going to have the valve, right in this case, when it's pointing to the right, it's coming out of your SH tank. We're going to watch for the SH to come in. Once we see that it's primed and coming in there, we're going to wait about 3 seconds after. For each one of these, you're going to wait about 3 seconds after you see the water or the liquid come all the way through and disappear into the proportioner. Let it run for about 3 seconds, and then you can switch to the next step, or in this case, I'm going to just turn the valve over the other way and then draw out of the water tank, and that's used for flushing. So this allows you to draw from either water or SH when you're using the proportioner to either flush the unit or draw all water or use it for rinsing, etc. So after I have the system primed, I'm going to turn this back to my SH valve. I got all my valves off. I come up to my first job. I'm ready to go. This would be all disconnected then. I'm going to turn this back to the hose reel. I'm going to come up to my first job. I'm all ready to go. I'm going to open my water valve all the way up. I'm going to take my SH valve and I'm going to select what percentage of bleach I want. And we have some recommended ratios right here on our sticker that go anywhere from 0.5% up to 5.5%. So, let's say I'm going to start out, I got some really heavy growth on concrete I want to clean. So I want to run a 4.5% mix. I'm going to turn this mix all the way up to 4.5, and you can see the arrow. Now these are approximate estimations, but they're fairly accurate. You're going to have to determine what the exact ratio you want to use for your job is, but these will give you really accurate ratios. Then I'm going to set my detergent, which would be drawing out of this tank here, which would be like your Dragon Grip or Secret Agent or Agent Green or something along those lines. I'm going to select how much I want based on what kind of suds or stickiness I want. Typically, you're going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 on your range as far as what you're going to be drawing out of there, and viscosity of the liquid will make a determination of where you want to be. So I'm going to set it at, let's say I'm going to set it at about a 3. That's where I normally run. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray everything I'm doing. Now I'm done spraying my heavy concrete. Well, I want to wash the house now while that's sitting, and it's not so bad. I might only have some, synthetic stucco or maybe some brick or just a light wood or something like that, and I only want to run a 2.5% mix. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to 2.5%. I'm going to take my detergent, I'm just going to bump it up, I'm going to squeeze the trigger. While I'm squeezing the trigger, I'm going to count to 3, 1001, 1002, 1003. And I'm going to turn this right back to where I was. And then I'm going to continue to spray out on the concrete what was in the line. And what you're going to see is a big glob of soap. It's going to be a big whole bunch of suds that comes out all at once because you're drawing a lot of detergent. Once that suds hits, everything after that point is your new mix, the weaker mix, and then you continue to spray. You spray the house and do all that. When you're done at the end of the day, I recommend flushing it out. What you're going to do is turn your detergent off, turn the selector valve at the top from the bleach to the water, open your SH valve up all the way, run it. You can use that to rinse or to apply water. At minimum, I would run it for a minute or two just to kind of flush everything out. It'll help your proportion to last a lot longer because this is a long-term investment that you're making. Then when you're done at the end of the day, all you got to do is shut your valves off, close the door. The unit should maintain its prime because of the check valves that are in there while you're not using it, so you shouldn't have to prime it every day, only when you run out of liquids, one liquid or another. If you run out of detergent or you run out of water or your SH, that's what you would do. On the bottom of the water tank here, we do have a dump valve that is on there so that you can drain the unit. You can connect a jumper hose on there if you want, or just let it drain out on the deck. I actually like to let it drain out on the skid, so if anything is spilled on the skid, the water helps to flush it away. So this is the Allbright skid from PowerWashStore.com, 855-351-9274.